Welcome to Attleboro Update. With great local man in need of a kidney receives the gift of life, festivities for the Big Read are in full swing, and partner organization Triborough Youth Theater showed that Attleboro.
Welcome to Attleboro Update, where you can get the latest in what's going on in the Attleboro community. You can watch all of our content by visiting our website, AACS.com, by downloading the AACS mobile app, or if you have a Roku, you can search for the AACS Roku channel. The residents of Sandcastle Estates in South Attleboro, a 55-plus community comprised of manufactured homes, have faced rent instability after the land was purchased by several different organizations over the last several years. Attleboro State Representative Jim Hawkins has been working on legislation that would offer some protections for residents. We spoke with him to learn more.
What's happening is, we're at Sandcastle Estates in South Attleboro right now, which is a 55-plus community. And a lot of these people bought houses here and they're downsizing. Their kids are gone. They don't need a big house anymore. And this would be a very affordable way to live into your senior years. The mobile home itself, it's not mobile, it's manufactured home. It's never been on wheels. It's probably worth $80,000 or $100,000, and the lot rent should be $300 or $400 a month, which is a very comfortable way to live your senior years. The problem is all these parks were owned by families. They were family owned for decades, and now all of a sudden with the real estate boom in this area, they're worth a whole lot of money, and out-of-state companies are coming in and buying them up. In the case of Sandcastle, it was bought by Legacy Corporation. The tenant, it was probably worth on taxes, I think, $3 or $4 million before this. The tenants were the banks. The bank was willing to lend the tenants $10 million to buy it, which seems like silly money to me. And then Legacy Corporation, an out-of-state hedge fund, came in and just grabbed it up for $13 million cash. So immediately, they're from out of state, so we don't know if they understand Massachusetts state laws for manufactured home parks are some of the best in the country, but they're not from Massachusetts. So these tenants are particularly vulnerable to rent changes, to changes to their lease. I mean, they can't hire a lawyer for everything that happens. We've been working all spring and summer on this. It was written by House Counsel on the advice of people from Maura Healey's office and the advice of people in House Counsel. It took like 3 or 4 months to write because their job isn't to write bills for us. They do other things, but they were willing to do this because they recognized that this was an issue. So we just filed it 2 weeks ago. This bill has been filed, it's opt-in. So the bill number is HD, it's still a House docket, it's HD 5317. And this bill would allow, if the city chooses to opt in, they don't have to write a home rule petition, they just have to vote to accept it and have a board that would examine any changes to tenants' leases or rents to make sure that they comply with the existing state law. I think one of the considerations, a lot of people didn't understand that there's a couple dozen communities that already have these rent stabilization boards, but they were done prior to the ballot question that banned rent control. And the reality is rent control is allowed for mobile home parks, but most people don't realize that.
Well, hopefully it'll help us in the future, because I haven't actually seen this. This is the one that would be statewide. If it operates similar to what we had been thinking, that the city would set up a rent stabilization board, and any rent increases have to be approved by that board. So if Legacy tried to implement a large increase, perhaps that could be struck down to some extent. So, but Legacy, they issued leases to us that capped our rent increases at 5% a year, or CPI, whichever is higher. So for a couple of years we got 5% increases. Last year was I think it was 5.9 because the CPI was higher. This coming year it's probably going to be in the 8 to 10% range, because that's where the CPI is. That's where it's going so far this year. So this hopefully will help us in the future. And there could be some other charges that Legacy is including in our rent that maybe we could fight those in front of a rent stabilization board. That time will tell.
Across the state, there are other communities that are very serious about this and are very interested in our bill and our response to it. So hopefully we'll help other parks and other parts of the state that are experiencing the same real estate boom. But it's received attention not just at the state level. We also got a letter of support from U.S. Senator Elizabeth Warren, who's been very active on these issues as well.
The Attleboro Norton YMCA Camp Finberg recently hosted Congressman Jake Auchincloss for a parent listening session. The session was part of the Y's Healthy 3 to 10 initiative that seeks to promote the physical, emotional, and nutritional health of children in the afternoon and evening hours. It's also one of several stops the congressman has made over the summer months to get input from parents. We spoke with him to learn more.
I'm the father of 2 little kids. I got Teddy, who's actually here with me right now, 2 years old. And then I have Grace, who's 1. And as one of the youngest parents in Congress, I'm increasingly concerned about children's mental health. Over the last several months, been embarked on an initiative of learning as a member of Congress and as a parent about what we can do to best support kids' mental health. In summertime, that really takes the form of supporting through both funding and community resources really important after-school programming and camp programming for children, both structured, unstructured play and socio-emotional support, and also preventing learning loss during the summer. This fiscal year 2023 budget cycle has seen unprecedented amounts of funding for children's mental health. And this is the beginning, I think, of a sustained and substantive trend in Washington, D.C., which is a renewed commitment to socio-emotional and academic support for our kids. We saw during COVID that the school closures were devastating for young people, their academic development, as well as their behavioral development. That's especially true for our most vulnerable kids. And we need to be doing, I think, 2 things going forward, a pincer movement. One is supporting the YMCAs and Boys and Girls Clubs and extracurricular activities of the world that give kids both structured and unstructured opportunities to develop. And also pushing back at big corporations, especially the Facebooks and Instagrams and TikToks of the world, that are really trying to take advantage of younger children's attention and monetize it. And we know that screen time, excessive screen time can be damaging to kids' development, and that it's increasingly challenging for parents to be able to control and engage with that. And it's really time for Congress to step up and say to the Mark Zuckerbergs of the world that we have a compelling interest in our kids' mental health, and we are going to be holding the big tech companies to account for putting in place the systems and processes that protect our kids. I certainly hear reflected back to me a lot of my own concerns as a young parent about the role of screen time in kids' development. I hear a lot of concerns about school closures over the last 2 years and a real conviction that we cannot repeat those. And I made opening the schools my day 1 priority as a member of Congress, and I'm absolutely committed to keeping the schools open regardless of the state of COVID. I also hear that the cost of childcare is really excessive and that it makes it very challenging both summer and school year to be able to have confidence that when both parents are at work or one parent's at work, that their children have the kind of quality, affordable care that everyone deserves. I just appreciate being welcomed here at the Y, and it's programs like these that are just critical for kids' individual well-being, but also for our sense of ourselves as communities. And it's these kinds of initiatives that I've been working to support as a member of Congress through directive funding and through the fiscal year 2023 overall budget, but also that I want to help sustain in a world where big tech is increasingly voracious for our kids' attention. And I'm committed to the kinds of oversight and regulations that will rein in what these social media and video game companies want to do with monetizing kids' attention.
Empty Bowls is back for another year. Empty Bowls is a program dedicated to alleviating food insecurity and hunger in the area. Area potters and ceramic artists raise money by crafting dozens of handmade bowls and hosting a community meal. Proceeds from the effort go to support area food pantries. We spoke with Empty Bowls Attleboro founder Sarah Mott to learn more.
Hi, I'm Sarah Mott with Empty Bowls Attleboro area, and we're entering our 4th year. I'm really proud to say that the Attleboro community has really stepped up and supported this project, which is based upon artists making bowls, and bowls being sold for a really nice ticket price of $25, and the buyers of the tickets come to our event, which would be Saturday on September 24th at Capron Park, and from 11 to 2 you pick out your own bowl. They're all handmade, they're all beautiful. No two are alike. pretty much. No two are alike, so it's very interesting. And all the money goes to fight food insecurity here in the Attleboro area. Our money goes to Food and Friends, the Attleboro Y, it goes to the Hebron Food Pantry, and the Murray Universalist Food Pantry. So the need to support the fight against food insecurity remains strong even after COVID, and we've been working very hard to get our bowls ready this year. So Attleboro Area Empty Bowls has a great team. We have Sally Cobb, Martha Matchnick, Donna Bliss, and David LaFerrier. It's a great sized group and they're really dedicated to what we do. Besides them, we have some local potters that pitch in and really do a lion's share of the work of populating our tables. So we have Erica Lynn Hood, we have Danica Notar, we also have some guest artists that are coming in and doing some really special, wonderful pieces for our raffle table and for our sale table, which are two things that we have. Once you buy your ticket, you get your bowl and you get some great soup by Attleboro's culinary rock stars, the Morans family. Besides that, we have several opportunities to add more art to your world. We have a studio sale table, which has a really wonderful assortment of pieces from most of our artists who are making bowls. We also have a raffle, guest artist raffle, which has really, really high-end, wonderful pieces, one-of-a-kind pieces, always sought after. And then we're adding this year, on the back of what was introduced last year, our new empty bowl pet division table, which has some really wonderful pet bowls. It's being spearheaded by a friend of mine, Brittany Nicholson.
I'm Sally Cobb, and I take care of the money for Attleboro Area Empty Bowls. So I guess I'm something of a treasurer. This year we have a number of donations already that have gone up from last year. Sturdy Memorial Hospital and its associates are in for $5,000 on behalf of its amazing employees. That's a huge donation for us. $5,000 is more than last year. We also received $5,000 more from our anonymous donor this year in a match. So we have matched that. So we've earned about just over $56,000 so far, which is excellent for this point in time. We know that we will be getting some more money in the match if we can earn more from the community. So we're very pleased about that. The event itself pays is about $15,000 that we raise on that particular day between the tickets and the sale table and the raffle. And of course we hope to earn more this year. We are hoping to sell more tickets, a few more tickets as well.
So buy your tickets, come to our event, get a beautiful bowl, fill it with delicious soup, do some shopping and add some artwork to your life, and you can top it all off by going to Bliss Brothers and having a great cone with our gift certificate that everyone who buys a ticket gets.
The NEA Big Read Attleboro will officially begin on September 10th with the opening of a gallery exhibit at the Attleboro Arts Museum. The exhibit is titled Reframed. We spoke with Museum Director and Chief Curator Mim Fawcett to learn more.
I'm speaking to you today in our Atmar gallery while our upcoming exhibition is being installed. This exhibition is titled Reframed, and the subtitle for it is Exploring the Talent of Visual Artists with Disabilities. This exhibition is a byproduct of Attleboro's NEA Big Read. And since 2007, the museum has partnered with the city of Attleboro, with the quarterback being the Attleboro Public Library. The Big Read program started with the Attleboro Public Library, and its goal is to have everyone in the city read the same book at the same time. There's always a theme that is explored through these books. It's a magical program in that it brings individuals together who are 70 years old and who are 15 years old, talking about the same topic, exploring areas where they wouldn't ordinarily go, and having common ground. And that's the magic that we find in the Big Read every year. So as a partner in the Big Read program, the museum is excited to create a cultural event that responds to some particular theme in the book. This year's selected text is Sitting Pretty by Rebecca Taussig. This is a memoir, and the author, who is in a wheelchair, discusses her disability, discusses what it is like to be in a wheelchair in the United States, talks about her life growing up in this situation, as well as the triumphs and the challenges. And I found it, when I read it, incredibly eye-opening. I don't share the same life experience as the author, so just that alone made me think a different way. And again, that's the magic of the Big Read. So from Rebecca Taussig's memoir, I thought that it would be appropriate to invite artists with disabilities to exhibit at the museum. In many cases, the exhibiting artists have physical disabilities. Many are in wheelchairs themselves. Others are not. Others have disabilities that you cannot see. They are grappling with mental health concerns, emotional challenges, and there's an amazing authenticity to what all of these artists have created and what they are sharing with our audiences. The work that is on the wall will be accompanied by a plaque that tells the artist's story. They will go through their creative process, so you'll get to know about the artwork that you see, but you'll also get to know about them, what they are dealing with from day to day, and how they view the world. I am so grateful to these artists. I'm always pleased with all of the work that we have in the museum, but these artists in particular are sharing issues that are difficult for them, and in some cases a triumph for them. And we are really happy to be able to show the work and to have this partnership with the NEA Big Read and with all of the agencies, organizations, and individuals in Attleboro that are part of this whole program. This year's NEA Big Read kicks off with the museum's exhibition, which opens up on September 10th. We have an opening reception and kickoff that happens September 10th. That's a Saturday from 2 to 4. And then the programs run from September through April 2023 this year for the Big Read. But this exhibition is only up for 2 weeks. So from September 10th through September 24th. You can find out more about the exhibition and about the Big Read by visiting Attleboro Arts Museum.org, or you could also go to the Big Read website, which is Attleboro's oneabc.org.
That's all for this week's edition of Attleboro Update. From everyone here at AACS, thank you for watching.